Hi, everyone. I'm back with another draft. My name is Kyle. We're drafting from the three slot. I'm very happy we got a higher draft pick this time because I've already done two Dalmatians, and both of them were towards the end of the draft. I think one was a 9 pick and one was like a 7 pick. So it feels good to get in the three spot. This tournament is $101 to enter, and 4 out of 12 people make it out of the pod. And if you make it out of the pod, you at least get your money back. First place is $30,000. I think it's around a 23 seat final if you make it to week 17. So most likely we'll be taking Jamar Chase here. I'm a Bengals fan. So I'm big on Jamar Chase. I'm thinking that Joey B has a bounce back season. They've been trying to protect him with upgrading the offensive line, so that's a good thing for Jamar Chase. So yeah, see if I recognize anybody in here, which I do not. In these drafts, because four people advance out of the pods and you get your money back, quarterbacks usually kind of fly off the board compared to like the BBM or like the puppies, which usually in higher stake drafts regardless, quarterbacks tend to go a little bit earlier because no one wants to get locked out. I've drafted over this year over like probably 300 drafts, all on Underdog. I haven't really drafted on, I did last year a few on DraftKings, but I've been sticking to Underdog this year. I I think they have better tournaments in general, but I might get some DraftKings going just so I can get like some PPR scoring as well. And I know they have like different ADPs a little bit. So we got some shields in here. We got a silver shield and a yellow shield. Not exactly sure how many drafts you have to do to get these shields, but quite a lot. So yeah, I'm new to streaming, so I'm trying to get a little bit of a following so I can start going live with these. So if you could hit the like button, it would help me out greatly in the algorithm so more people could see the videos and then I can start going live and we can draft together. I took Ashton Genty in both of the Dalmatians that I've done so far. I just think he's like a pretty safe pick in my opinion. His situation completely changes this year and he had 10 touchdowns last year. So I gladly take Genty pretty much anywhere in the first round after mostly after the top 5 guys. I'll start taking Genty. I have drafted him above JSM before just to balance out my exposure a little bit and get some uniqueness because I've taken a lot of JSN as well. I like get the 5 spot. I've been getting the 5 spot a lot. So I most likely will go with one of these guys. AJ Brown goes off the board. Could go George Pickens as well. I just think, yeah, I think I will go George Pickens. I just think that Dallas is going to throw the ball a lot, and this guy's a stud. He's also in on the franchise tag, so he's going to be looking to have a big season so he can secure the bag. So I like my two wide receivers. I got Chase and Pickens. And then we'll see. I will take Jeremiah Love or Brees Hall if they fall to me. If not, I could look to take like Trey McBride or Rasheed Rice and start with 3 wide receivers. But yeah, it looks like I'm going to get one. So I'll have at least one should be very talented young back. So now it's my decision if I want to take Jeremiah Love or Brees Hall. I think I'm going to take Jeremiah Love here. I have more Brees Hall, and the offense isn't great, but it could be better than what everyone's thinking. Like, Jacoby Brissett wasn't that bad last year. It's just like towards the end of the year, if they start playing the rookie Carson, then that's where things could get dicey. But they took him third overall pick. They're going to give him carries. He also can break off long runs. So I'm happy with that pick. Brees Hall goes right after. So me and this guy have very similar teams. Renegades. I feel like I've drafted with this guy before. Trey McBride is continuing to slide down into the middle of the third, which I get it. Honestly, I haven't taken like too much Trey McBride this year. Just because last year, I just feel like he was getting so much volume in that offense. And now they add Jeremiah Love. Marvin Harrison was injured when he was getting all that volume. So I just think he could see some regression. But you're definitely like, the market is baking that into his price. Because if he did the same thing he did last year, he'd be going much higher. So Malik Neighbors goes pretty early in this one to an experienced drafter. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think I would take Neighbors that high. Like maybe in the BBM because you're going up against so many teams. But I mean, I think it's fine. But I just see guys that are like could go off in week 17. Like they're just as likely to go off like Terry McLaurin. So he's probably going to be out for at least 4 weeks, and then who knows how long it's going to take to ramp him up. But 4 teams do advance out of this, so it's easier to advance out. So there is more forgiveness in this type of format comparative to like the BBM. All right, I'm on the clock. I'm going to take Waddle or Evans. All right, I'm going to take Waddle here. I've been wanting to get more of him. He's an explosive guy on a new offense. He, honestly, in my opinion, is one of the best talents still in the NFL, like right around the age of like the prime years, like 28. Like Mike Evans, obviously, is a great talent, but he's 33 years old. Jalen Waddle's like 27 or 28. So I'd rather take him there than someone who is 33 coming off a injured season. So I'm back on the clock. Could take DJ Moore. I think I'm going to take David Montgomery. I've been taking him mainly in the Eliminator, but I don't have much exposure to him in like the smaller tournaments. So I want to get him in one of these higher stake tournaments because I just could see him having a big workload. And I'm getting him around guys like Junkins, who's on a bad offense. He could also get a big workload. But like Tootin, for example, goes 3 picks after. And we don't even know. He's most likely going to be sharing the backfield in Jacksonville. Houston could also run the ball more this year because their defense is good. And I just think David Montgomery, like we saw what Joe Mixon did in Houston. I think it could be like a similar situation where he's just getting all the goal line looks. They're running the ball in the red zone a lot. So I like the pick. And you're not paying a premium price for him either. In the eliminators, he goes at the beginning of the 4th round. So that just tells me like the market thinks he's going to be good, but they don't think he's going to have like, they don't think he's going to be like BBM league winning type. But like I don't see how there is such a big discrepancy between like the eliminator and this type of tournament. So I'm happy to take him on my team, especially with my explosive wide receivers. And he's a guy too, like in this type of tournament where he can help me advance out of my pod. So if Joe Burrow falls to me, I will definitely take him to match him up with Chase. I like the Bengals playoff schedule. They have Carolina, Indy, Baltimore. Quarterbacks are starting to go. This guy could take Joe Burrow, and then it's good. The T. Higgins drafter is right after me, and he does not go Joe Burrow. So it's more than likely these guys won't go Joe Burrow. Drake May is partnered up with A.J. Brown. And this guy honestly should take Caleb Williams over Joe Burrow because he's got Colston Loveland. Like, there's really no reason for him to take Joe Burrow unless he's like trying to screw over us two. So just as I thought, Joe Burrow falls to me here. Which I would say that's if you are trying to pair up Joe and T. Higgins, like that's the one downside of taking him here is like you're most likely not gonna get Joe Burrow to come back to you. But he might have known that. Another guy who will definitely help me advance out of my pod is Tony Pollard. I do like Parker Washington though. So Parker Washington goes. So I'm going to take Pollard and add him to my running back room. He's had 4 years of 1,000 yards, and I could see the Tennessee offense taking a step forward this year. They add 2 wide receivers, new coaches, and Cam Ward was a first overall pick, and he's in his second year. And they upgraded the offensive line. So I like the Tennessee offense this year. And what I might try to do too is I could try to get Cam Ward on this team, but I could also try to get Spears and like lock in this Tennessee backfield. And the reason that I would do that is because I could see like one game Tony Pollard getting a touchdown, say goes 100 yards, and then the next week he doesn't have a big game, but Spears catches like 5 passes and scores a touchdown. So it's something that I could do. So there's this team, 1 running back, 5 wide receivers. This team, 1 running back, 6 wide receivers. So it's just something to note because this could have a ripple effect for what value falls. And they'll be looking to take running backs. Like he's always going to be looking to take a running back towards the end of the rounds because honestly, he could probably stop at 6 wide receivers if he wanted to. They're both going with like a hero type running back build. Everyone else seems pretty balanced. We got a few teams that still haven't taken a quarterback. One team has taken 2. So, like, basically every time here, if I want a running back, I should not think that they're going to fall to me because he's going to be looking for running backs. So, if I like a wide receiver, I could take the risk of, say, taking the running back I really like first and then hoping that the wide receiver falls back to me because it's more than likely he's not going to be taking many more wide receivers. So yeah, I would definitely take one of these running backs, probably Blake Corum over Kyle. So he takes Kyle, or he takes Blake, sorry. So that leaves me Kyle if I want him. I might take Brock Purdy here. So yeah, I'm going to take Brock Purdy and hope that Ricky Pearsall falls back to me. And I do also like the um I like the rookie out in San Francisco. I can also grab George Kittle, and like I said, I want to grab quarterbacks earlier in this draft because I know they go quick and it helps me advance out of the pod. And honestly, like I'm not a huge fan of Kyle. If Blake Corum would have gotten to me there, I would have taken Blake Corum, but I just prefer Blake Corum over Kyle. And now I can get that stack of Ricky Pearsall that I wanted. Jackson Dart goes. See, like I'm happy I took a quarterback there because the quarterbacks that would have like I would have been looking at these quarterbacks next, which are fine, but like I just prefer the Brock Purdy pick. And I feel like most Brock Purdy teams are going to have the Mike Evans stack, but it's a lot more unlikely that they backstack, which obviously some teams will, but I just think most teams will have Mike Evans, Brock Purdy stack more often. I did leave him a running back though. Like, but honestly, I'm more worried about my team, but like this team was definitely hoping that either Kyle or Blake Corum fell back to them. So I could have like low key screwed him over. But I don't know. DeAndre Swift's still in Chicago. I think he is a more explosive running back. Kyle could carve out like a decent goal line workload, and the offense is good, but I don't know. I just don't see him like breaking off for long touchdowns. And I got like three pretty solid running backs already, so I definitely could take George Kittle here as well with my Brock Purdy stack. He goes off the board though. All right, I most likely will take a running back here. Yeah, I definitely am going to be taking one of these two running backs if these two guys don't take both of them. One of them goes. So if he doesn't take Aaron Jones, I'll be taking Aaron Jones. Most likely. Yeah. Yeah, I'm taking Aaron Jones here. He's an older running back, but I still think he's got some juice left. And I really like his um, week 17 matchup, which is against the New York Jets. So I like adding him to a lot of my teams. He's got Detroit, Washington, New York Jets. There's a lot of teams with still one quarterback. I could partner up Kyler Murray with Aaron Jones, which I might because Joe Burrow always starts off slow, it seems like. Like as a Bengals fan, like I know this, and I'm getting if Kyler Murray isn't taken by one of these two guys, I'm getting him 13 picks past ADP with a stack. and my quarterback room will be very. I do have like 2 bye weeks the same, but it's no big deal. So I'm gonna take Kyler Murray here. It also will like set a panic through the rest of the draft because a lot of teams still only have one quarterback. And me and this guy just took our third. So yeah, 4 picks in a row I got stacks with, which I like. Brock Purdy, Ricky Pearsall, then Aaron Jones, Kyler Murray. You don't really see Kyler Murray fall 13 picks past ADP too often. I'm one of 2 teams who haven't taken a tight end yet. But there's a lot of guys on here that I like. I'll most likely take 3 tight ends. This guy still only has one QB, but his QB is Josh Allen. This guy's going to be wanting to take a QB here. Yeah, this guy behind me. I mean, I don't know if he wants Keaton Mitchell. There's 2 other running backs here, but I'm taking Keaton Mitchell. This will complete my running back room, most likely. I really like Keaton Mitchell this year. He's on a good offense, and he gets the 49ers in week 15, which I have the stacks with. So I most likely will take Chig if he doesn't take him. I think Chig has a good opportunity this year. He's been decently consistent. Not that he's like done great, but he was in a pretty bad offense, and now he gets a new offense with a good quarterback. And Jaden Daniels targeted the tight end a lot with Zach Ertz, so I could just see Chig like stepping right into that role. So he's one of my favorite like middle round tight ends to take. So yeah, here's my team so far: Joe Burrow, Brock Purdy, Kyler Murray. Quarterback room is done. Jeremiah Love, David Montgomery, Tony Pollard, Aaron Jones, Keaton Mitchell. My running backs are about done. Then I got Jamar Chase, George Pickens, Jalen Waddle, Ricky Pearsall, and Chig. I never did get the Spears stack. So like this guy's running back room is a bit dangerous. He's got Hampton, Harvey, Spears. The guy next to me's got Brian Robinson, Woody Marks, Kyle Monungai, and Bijan. So that's actually interesting. He took the handcuff to his number one running back. I think you see this a lot more in a tournament structured like this, where you're trying to advance out of your pod and at least like get your money back. Because like it's so much easier in a tournament like this to protect your $101 because you only need to finish in the top four out of these teams. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take Stribling here for my Brock Purdy stack. Stribling's definitely one of my favorite rookies this year, just based on opportunity, and I like the prospect as well. I'm gonna pair a floor guy up with Chig because I think Chig has more upside. So I'm cool with taking Dalton Schultz there. I could have taken TJ Hawkinson as well to pair up with Kyler Murray, but I just feel like his floor isn't as high as Dalton Schultz because Kyler Murray could just kind of be like a disaster there. Hawkinson could get injured again. He could just be washed. So I prefer Dalton Schultz. If it was the BBM, I would have taken Hawkinson just because in like a tournament like the BBM, you need your team to be more unique. So these stacks are just more important. So wide receiver has gotten pretty thin. So I'm definitely going to be looking to take some wide receivers with my next two picks, most likely. Could look to take a Baltimore guy to pair up with my Week 17 Bengals stack for some correlation. Devontae Walker's been getting some hype. He was like super efficient last year with 3 touchdowns on 6 catches. Could also take Elijah. I'm not really big on Jerry Jeudy. All right, I'm going to just go ahead and secure the tight end that I like here, who is Terrence Ferguson. So my last two picks will be wide receivers. I'm going to take the veteran Calvin Ridley here. There's a lot of receivers in that offense, but I still think he might have some juice. And then I could pair him up with like a higher upside pick or like a field stretcher like Walker. But my wide receiver room, like my first two picks were wide receivers. So if these two guys do what they're supposed to do for me, they should be in my lineup most weeks. And then I paired them with Waddle, Pearsall, Stribling. So this guy did what I was talking about earlier when I with Spears and Pollard, but he did it with Coleman and Harvey. He basically locked up Denver's backfield besides J.K. Dobbins, which I think is a good idea because we know J.K. Dobbins has a lot of injuries. So most likely he's going to get injured again. Skylar Bell goes off the board. Elijah Surratt goes off the board. This guy did the same thing. Two running backs in the same backfield with Katron Allen and Rashad White. He's got a good running back room. So yeah, my last pick was the Walker to get that correlation. So yeah, let's look at my team. I got Joe Burrow, Brock Purdy, Kyler Murray, 13 picks past ADP, which is just great. Jeremiah Love, David Montgomery, Tony Pollard, Aaron Jones, Keaton Mitchell, which I like him, especially 6 picks after ADP. Chase, Pickens, Waddle, Pearsall, Stribling, Ridley, Walker, Chig, Dalton Schultz, and Terrence Ferguson. Thank you all for tuning in, and until the next draft, I will see you all later.